Welcome to another episode of the Becky Choice podcast show. Today I have Christina here. Christina started her Tummy Warrior program in mid of January. So this was part of her resolution goal to be able to wear her bachelorette dresses because she has so many bachelorettes coming up or even throughout the program, and that was part of her goal to be able to wear them comfortably and more confidently. So I had her here and we talked about her journey, and one of the things that was interesting that came up would be interesting for you who are listening on this podcast is if you have been seeing somebody who is local, like face-to-face, whether it is a physical therapist or somebody who is working with you in a personal level, in a group, whether it's a group training or like a one-on-one personal training, how would the online program would be different, or how you would see the online program in a way that would work for you, or like what were maybe some of the things that Christina was skeptical about, you probably would be skeptical about it too, whether an online program would be suitable for you or like an online coaching program would be suitable for you. So I would love for you to listen to Christina on this episode. She shared her journey, some of her struggle throughout the program and how she came out of it, and even despite her being not super consistent with the entire program, she is still able to get some really good results in terms of weight loss, in terms of diastasis reductions, and also waist, the inches lost around the waist, and just like feeling good in her clothes. So dive in and I'll see you later. Talk to you later. Like, how are you? Tell me, how are you feeling now? Congratulations, by the way, on finishing the 4 months Tummy Warrior coaching program.
Thank you. It's been such a, as you know, it's been such a journey. And there were a lot of things that I learned and that I encountered along the way that I was definitely not expecting to encounter. Learning how to be more disciplined and the consistency of, coming up with a plan and evaluating and reevaluating my goals have just been, it's been pretty eye-opening, but it's been good. It's been really good. And as you know, like the last couple of weeks, I got sick, and then my boys got sick, and then we're celebrating my youngest first birthday. So there's just a lot of going on that was going on. So I feel like I didn't get to finish as strongly as I anticipated, especially like the month before. I was really motivated, and I was really like, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to work out every day for the next like month. And, life kind of just happened and that wasn't possible, but I'm still pretty proud of myself for accomplishing what I was able to accomplish.
Yeah. And I'm very proud of you. Sometimes we kind of over anticipate or over expecting the results in the shorter time frame. Let's say 2-3 months time frame, the shorter time frame, but we underestimate the result you can get 6 months, a year from now with the habits that you have created. So it's not like, okay, now you're done, you finish, like all the efforts like just goes backward, like it's already gone. Like it doesn't work that way, because you already built in the habits already in the last 4 or 5 months here, and then you sort of like you can't see the future, but like if you were to look openly to the future, I think you just kind of underestimate how much further and how much more you can go in the future, right? Because you work with your students or you work with your clients, and you can see them 1 or 2 months might not change much, or even 4 months doesn't change much, but like a year from now, that switch with their speeches, with the way they learn, they observe things and they absorb stuff, it's such a big difference. And you don't realize that, like, oh yeah, a few months doesn't make a big difference, but like in a year time, it could be like a totally different person. Would you agree?
No, completely. That's like the perfect example. I was just thinking like that really hits home, because it's so true. Like sometimes, obviously day by day and even months, like it just seems like there's no progress or very, very slow progress. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow. I look at like my students or clients, I'm like, they were not doing that, like you said, 6 months ago, a year ago, what have you. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so that really hits home the way you explained.
Good. Yeah, like we just kind of underestimate like the 1 year time frame, but there's so much more we can accomplish in that time. So I wanted to share screen with you, like just so that we are looking at the same things, and so I can go over your progress here. So like, I mean, wow, you started mid-January, January 17th. Time flies. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we're like summertime here, May. What's going on? I'm sure that was part of your resolutions beginning of the year. Be like, okay, you know what? I want to do something for myself. And do you feel like this is something part of that resolutions has reached?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and it's so good. Like you have so many steps ahead of so many people. Like people set that goal, and then like next week they already forgot about it, or like
Yeah.
a month later they gave up. And you're here.
I mean, I had you and Nitika to keep me accountable. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, we keep you on the toes. So yeah, I mean, I can see the calendar here. The one that is marked in bubbles or blue or red or green, sorry, yellow. Yeah, green too. Like they are the one that you marked completed. I mean, you're pretty consistent most of the time. I mean, at least 3, 4 workouts a week, and then some walks if when you can.
Yeah.
Some week you are a little bit, yeah, like this week, early March. I think
Yeah,
maybe
March
that's
was
when you
tough.
were, maybe you had a wedding, was it? Or
So I had quite a few bachorette parties in
about
between.
bachelorette party, right?
But actually, I was really proud of my. So the first one was actually the first weekend of March,
Hmm.
um, and I was really proud of myself because I actually, when we were in Mexico, and when we were out there, I did work out. I did
Mm.
try to eat more vegetables. Like I still tried to keep within somewhat of a portion control. And like when I came back home, like I was still, you know, my stats were still pretty similar as before. So I was, and that's something I would never do before. Like on vacation, never went to the gym, never did any of that. So it was like a small win for myself. Like, I did do things like, drink a little bit more alcohol or indulge a little bit more in like some desserts. But overall, I think yeah, it was such a win for me, like personally, because I would never do that before.
Yeah. And what kind of habits, or like what changed you to be able to maintain that habits while on vacation? Like what mindset shift did you have?
I think it just at that point, from January to March, like I saw results, and I just wanted to keep that going. And I think also like in the beginning, it was hard to see the results because it was a lot of the focus on the breathing, and so you don't really like, and you say it a lot during the program, like you don't really. It feels like you're not really doing anything, but it was such important foundational skills to learn before you like start the exercises. So I
Yeah.
think like around February, March is when I really started seeing more results. So I was like, oh man, I gotta keep that up. And like I didn't want to go backwards from all of the progress that I've already been making. And it just also made me more hopeful, like, wow, if I've made this progress in this amount of time, like what more can I do? Like,
Mm.
after if I continue. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good. Like it's that kind of little sense of changes, or that you see whether it is in yourself, whether physically or energy wise, or the weight coming down, and then you see it getting better and better each week, and then you just automatically get more motivated.
yeah,
That's
like
great.
builds and builds. But I
Yeah, that
in
builds in.
March was also kind of where I started having, I was like, okay, I'm not like, I wasn't doing as much as I felt like I should have. So then I actually went to another bachelorette party,
Yeah, I know you're
end
very,
of
very
March.
busy. I
Yeah.
saw your pictures.
Yeah. I'm sure
You
you
look
saw.
nice.
So, I'll talk about that in a second too. But at the end of March and after
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay, I feel like that one, I kind of let go a little bit more. And when I came back home, I kind of went through this whole like I was starting to slip a little bit, and like I gained a couple more pounds and everything. So I was like, okay, I really need to like focus and like really get this done. And I believe I was telling both of you guys that yeah, I was having a bit of a harder time, um,
Mm.
but I pulled it together and I did it after that. But also I wanted to mention too, though, So we did go to Mexico, again, a different part of Mexico. And everybody was in, it was warm. We were on a boat. Everyone was in bikinis. And although I didn't meet my goal yet, I still felt much more confident and comfortable being in a bikini, being in my clothes than I would have like a month or two before. So that was also like that particular time and that particular weekend, I felt very like, that was also another small win for me, because I was like, wow, like even looking at pictures, I was like, okay, like there's a big difference. And I just felt much better. And I think, and I felt good about myself. So I think all of that, that's when like pushed me even more. Like when I came home, I was like, okay, really got to make the most out of this last month.
Yeah. And I wanted to go back and maybe like what kind of motivated you or triggered you to book that call with me at that time?
The very first one?
Yeah.
What was it? I just finished, I remember I just finished doing physical therapy for a month or two. And I remember feeling like I was feeling a little bit better, but I was like, there has to be more that I can do. And I wanted to kind of like, find something and take control of like my fitness and everything. And I found you, and I just, I don't know. I think that initial like couple months in PT just kind of was the jumping point for me, being like, okay, well, there's more that I need to do. There's more that I want to do.
Yeah. Like, were you feeling like, well, I was like wondering, like, what were you feeling like you want to do something more? But like, how did you feel like inside of you? Like, what did you really want? What did you really want to achieve? But beside the physical appearance, beside, oh, you know what, you want to wear that dress or bikini, like what else were you thinking or feeling? Like there must be something that trigger, like, oh, she just said I looked pregnant, I cannot look like this anymore. Like,
yeah.
Or like, my kids wants to play with me, I can't even do that. Like I felt so bad. Like I was wondering, like, was there like a specific episode like to really trigger you and then be like, you know what, I can't do this like that anymore?
Nothing. Well, I was having back pain. I think that was part of it. I mean, there's not really one like specific moment that I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I need to do this. But I just think it was a culmination of a lot of things. I was having back pain. I would look at myself. I'm like, why do like I still look pregnant? And I have other friends who had babies the same time as me or are even younger. And I was like this doesn't add up. They don't have the same, like pregnant looking belly that I do. And yeah, I think it was just kind of like all of that just seemed to happen all around the same time that really got me to.
Yeah. And were you like skeptical about switching from like physio, where you get more hands-on, like with the person, right, with the physio, to switching now like completely online, and you are doing it on your own?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that switch?
I was a little nervous because I was like, okay, everything looks good. Everything that I read, it looked good on paper. Like, okay, you're gonna do the check-ins. We're gonna like send the videos, but I was still a little bit nervous. Like, how is this really gonna go? Oh, but the other thing that I was thinking too was, I was looking for in-person programs and just like gyms and like classes and other personal trainers, but I was realizing there was not nobody, but I didn't find a lot who specialized in postpartum for moms workouts, and even more specifically diastasis recti. Like there's not a lot of coaches for that. So I think coming across your program, I was thinking like, okay, well, it was kind of like I was like weighing out the options. I was like, okay, it's online. I don't really know how I feel about that. But at the same time, like seeing your journey and hearing like your personal story, I was like, wow, like if she can do it, like she went through it. You're not just like a coach who was interested in it. You actually went through it. So I was like, okay, well, she specializes in it. She went through it. She got, went through like all the ups and downs of feeling this way, but it's online. I was like, well, I would take the experience and you like your personal experience and your expertise over, I was like, I'm sure I could figure it out. Like the like doing it online and having the different type of accountability where it's like mostly just me.
Right. And then did it live up to your expectations throughout the program? What was like some of the things that you enjoyed or like?
So I did, I liked the check-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked, like at first it was kind of hard for me to kind of get into it or just like know what to expect. But the check-ins were great through the app. And also I didn't do this a lot. I did it a few times, but submitting the videos really helpful.
In the beginning, especially, I remember.
In the beginning, like the feedback I got was really good. And I think I didn't submit as much later on because the feedback I got from the first few really helped me correct my form and my posture and everything. So I feel like after that, I was like doing pretty well with it, or at least I felt like I was. I feel like I probably should have taken more advantage of it, of sending the videos, but I think I was in a good place. And like I've worked out before. Like I used to work out. So like the form for certain things, like what's it called? I'm blanking. Oh, like squats and different types of the more strength workouts. Like I was more familiar with, and I really liked working out in front of a mirror. Like that really helped a lot. Like once I started doing that, like it's a trial and error, right? Everything. So I tried at first just recording and seeing how that went, but the mirror. But I didn't really like it as much. But just the simplicity of working out in front of a mirror was so helpful.
So helpful. When I worked out without mirror for the longest time. I just didn't realize that was even helpful at all, and until somebody mentioned it to me, and then it was like, oh my God, am I doing it like this? Like why do I look so weird? Like,
and I remember you said it in one of your videos that for the longest time you didn't have a mirror. And
usually, exactly. That's what I would say to you guys. Like if you don't have a mirror at home, a full body mirror, use a camera to film you. Even if you don't want to submit it, you can look at it yourself, so then you know what you're doing. So that's okay. That's really helpful. Yeah, that's something. Now I say it so often, I don't even realize that it's so helpful for you guys. So that's good. And I mean, I'm just we're just browsing at your calendar now, and just I mean, you're not very, very consistent. We can see that. Like there's a week skipped, and then maybe like even 2 weeks, because I think you were sick here toward the end of the program.
That was last,
but hit with COVID, right?
It wasn't COVID. It was a stomach bug, like a stomach bug.
Okay.
So that was that first week. Me and my husband were both sick, and then it was my son's first birthday party, and then they got sick. So it was.
It's like after being a mom now, like your schedule is not your schedule. Like there's no your schedule, my schedule.
Definitely,
it's like your schedule is a family schedule.
Exactly. And I was really looking forward to doing some of those workouts, and it was interesting because like that was not my mindset before. Back in like January, February, it was kind of like, oh, okay, I got to do these. And I think it's also hard because you say like when you're doing the breathing, you don't really know if you're doing it right because it's so internal, and also you're not really working out, so it doesn't feel like you don't feel the burn necessarily. You don't feel, so it's just kind of new and different. But by April, I was like, okay, like what are we gonna do today? I was like excited, like a new one. Am I gonna do the same one? And I'd like watch the video. I'm like, oh, I know this one already, but I'd be excited to like do the workout. So I thought that was pretty cool because that was not how I used to be before.
Yeah. And that's the progression you need, right? You need to build the foundation first, and then we build on top of it.
Definitely.
Now, once you knew, because we don't want to stay in the same place over and over again, and that's what the pitfall is with a lot of things out there. It's like they make you do this like 10 million times, and you still like progress just a little bit. But you know, at some point you need to lift some weights and do some booties work and like do some upper body work, and that's fun, right? And doing some cardio as well. And then so when you were sick, like how did you kind of like how did you get back up? Like, did you, I mean, like, did you had a plan in place, like how to get back on track?
It was just kind of like when I started feeling better, I wanted to just jump back in, you know, like, and I had a stomach virus. So like for a couple of days, I actually I was so tired and I didn't eat much. And, you know, it was bad.
Did it clean you out though? Like sometimes I feel like a stomach bug could be like that silver lining when it kind of clear you out, right?
That's what I thought it would be, but which I feel like, you know, probably a little bit, but I also felt like I was more bloated. I don't know if it's because my body was kind of trying to hold on to whatever it could for energy or for whatever. But yeah, I was like, I wasn't eating, but I just felt really bloated. It was very interesting. And like on my stats, like I didn't lose, I mean, I lost a little bit of weight, but not like too much weight, you know, from all of that. So, yeah, I don't know. Once I felt better, I just wanted to go. I was just like, okay, I'm ready to go back into it. But then the kids got sick. Yeah.
Right. But at the end, it's like, you know, you just get out of that, and then you just kind of get back on it. Like whatever happened, just happened. You know, you don't have to look back and feel bad about it.
Yeah.
You know, and you just have to get started again and go for a walk or go start with some breathing exercises.
And that was also kind of hard for me too. I mean, and I know that this is how I am too, is like my personality, like not to feel bad or not to dwell on like what you didn't do. Because I tend to do that a lot, and like what I should have or could have done better, or, you know, what have you. But so I think just like letting go of that throughout this process, because there were like a couple weeks where I like didn't get to do anything. And, you know, even some days or even some weeks where, you know, I worked out 3 times instead of 4 times, or 2 instead of like 4 that I wanted. I tend to just focus on what I didn't do. So I feel like through this process, it's helped me just to be like, okay, let's just look at what I can do now and what I can plan for tomorrow or whatever. You know, there's no point in like looking back and thinking about what you could have done. But that's just like a whole long lesson for me though.
No, I love that. It's about learning and practicing and engaging yourself, focusing on the positivity. Like, there's no reason to feel guilty about it. Like, what can you do? Like, you just learn from what you learn, and then you keep going.
Yeah. So that's something that I struggled with, but
you're getting better.
Kind of got better. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes. And results show. So like, I'm looking at your weight. So you lost about 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? You were at 133 at the beginning. That's what I have here, 133. And then this is last 2 weeks ago, actually 122. So yeah, 122, 11 pounds in about 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Yeah. 3 pounds, I mean 10 pounds, 11 pounds, 3 months. So a pound a week, 12 weeks, right? Yeah. Great in that sense. It's consistent. It's dropping very consistently. It's not uncommon to see there's a plateau or like even going back up, but it is trending down overall, which is good.
I think that 125 was probably right around, I think it was like right after that second bachelorette party, and I was like, okay, I can't go back up. You know, like I was like, oh no. So I tried to, you know, I worked to get it back. And
that's the beauty of it. Like, you know exactly what you needed to do in order to go downtrend. So you just have to pick back up those habits, and you knew what to do, and you did it.
I think it was possible, to be honest. I mean, I knew it, but I was like, really? I wasn't, again, like I'm not the type to, wasn't the type to like work out every day and do and be so strict on my diet and everything. So I was like, oh, is this like, can I do this? It was more about like me, I guess. Cause I always thought like it works for other people, but it might not work for me. But it did,
Yes, it did. And not only that, and while we're looking at your weight, we are also looking at the DR. So at the start, this is the January assessment. You were at 3.5 fingers and engaged 3 fingers, 1 knuckle, right at the belly button, and then top and bottoms are 2 and 2.
Wow.
Yeah, 34 inches relaxed, 33 engaged. And now the one you submitted just 2 days ago, it's closed, top and bottom. Congrats.
Thank you.
And then, it's 2 fingers at the belly button. But what's really got my attention is that nail depth. The nail deep at the belly button, it's pretty much the best you can get there because it is where you got stretched the most. And 2 finger is quite normal at belly button. Okay. So like I would say it's pretty much healed where you're at right now. And providing your weight is dropping. And it's not just this number that I'm looking at. It's also like, is it actually trending that way? So I'm looking at overall consistency, and is it trending down? And it is. It was like 1 to 2 fingers in end of February. And then it's continuously going down. End of March is 1 finger to 0, and then a nail deep, and now it's like gone. So amazing. And now it's 31 inches relaxed, and it was 34 3 inches. I've
had to buy so many new pants. Actually, which is a good thing. But I gotta spend money. But I mean, it's a good thing.
Don't buy it yet. Don't buy it yet. I know you're not stopping here. You have to wait a bit. But it's good. I mean, it's a good celebrations to reward yourself along the way. Why not have fun with it? I did that too. I bought size 28 jeans, and I'm like, oh, this is like getting too loose, and I bought 27, and then a month later I got too loose again. I got 26. It was like, oh my god.
I mean, it's hard.
I got it on sale, so I didn't feel so bad about it.
Right? Yeah, same here. I go to like Old Navy and wait for the Old Navy sales. Or I don't spend a lot because it's like, okay, I know. Even like the jeans that I just recently got, like the way my body type is, my legs are they're very slender, even though like my midsection isn't. So I will get these bands, and then I'm like starting to realize like it's getting loose on my legs, which is like, if it's getting loose on my legs, and like it, and it's gonna eventually get loose on like my midsection area. So it's like, but it's okay. It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have.
yeah. So I'm okay with it. And I realized I didn't post updated progress photos. Sorry.
Yeah, I would love to have you updated the last one. Yeah, but so we have the ones end of April, and I mean, overall lots of good changes. Like just from like you can just see like that. You can compare it on the phone side by side, right? So if you were to like flipping through it, just like looking at the distensions in the beginning and the roundness, and now. Now just overall like your back is looking more like you can see less those love handles, like it's more firmer now. Of course, like your belly fat is your overall body fat is still there, but you can see it's not like hanging out as much, and the overall tone of the belly, like everything looks so much better. And I'm sure the one you will have to probably shows, because you lost a bit more weight at the end, so it will show some more. But I think overall you just needed to lose a bit more weight, because right now you're 5 feet 122. What was your weight that like you felt really good?
Ooh, probably like around it. Like I haven't been this weight in a really long time. Like,
Oh, 122?
yeah, I think even before, I don't know, I would say like around 120, but even before my first son, before I had him, I was around I was around actually this weight, I think around 120. I think I was like around closer to 125. So it was like between 123 and
Mm-hmm.
125. Um, and I remember back then feeling like I was a little, like I could have probably lost some weight. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I think probably, yeah, 120, maybe even.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're pretty much where you were then, right? 122. I think for your height, you can lose a bit more, maybe 5-7 pounds.
Yeah, I would
But
love.
most importantly, I would like you to drop some more body fat and actually recomposite your body, like so that you actually build on more muscles instead of like switching that belly, switching the belly fat and the overall fat into muscles, switching that to it so that you can actually look more toned, more lean. And even if you're around the same weight, you will look completely different because of how your body shapes once you pack on more muscles and losing the fat. And now that your DR is pretty much healed, it's more focusing on strengthening it now, strengthening the core and just being able to do like some of the harder core exercises you have done, like including some of the like the mini crunches or scissors. And so like you would continuously to challenge those exercises so that you can actually not just internal work now, but it's more also like building that external six pack, like the abdominal muscles outside, like the outer core, so that you can actually like overall, like because we have obliques, we have the outer core and the core, so we can actually strengthen on all sides. And that lifting more weight will be very beneficial for you. So it's similar to the workouts you have been doing in the last 2 weeks or so. So 2B, 2C, those are heavier weights, lower body. So these are more body parts focused, where we will, okay, maybe we'll just work on your lower body today, and we'll focus on working on the lower body and with weights, and maybe we'll work on total body, but like, okay, we're using more weights to work on that. So you can actually tone up the muscles. And once you have that, combining with the nutritions and eating enough protein, and making sure you are in a calories. So we use portion control, as you know. So like staying inside a portion control will still help you, will be very beneficial for you. But having that enough red container, the protein would be the important ingredients for you to build on the muscles. So then you can actually change that compositions in your body. So that's what I would like you to focus on, and if you wanted to maintain and fit and losing those final pounds, and also just being able to have to readjusting, sorry, making yourself stronger with more strength training and resistance training. That's what you would need from going forward at this point.
Yeah, I would agree. I think now that the DR has healed more, I do notice a lot of what's left there in the midsection area is like fat or basically like the loose skin. Like I
Yes, it
can
is.
tell. And I had a C-section twice. So like I have, it kind of hangs over a little bit because of the scar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can
Have you been massaging them?
yeah. Not
Okay.
a lot, but yeah. I think I also need to do more of the lymphatic drainage,
Massage, yes.
that massage too.
Yeah, that will help you to glide the muscles, the skin, so that you can actually engage the core better. Yeah, and then also minimize the appearance once you do more massage. Will be very good. Yeah, I mean the body, sorry, the skin itself, it's always going to be there. The skin sort of just kind of lose that elasticity, but the muscle inside, you can do something about it. And also the appearance of the wrinkly skin, you can minimize it with some massages and oils and dry brushing. So So you could do that. But yeah, I mean, overall, though, like, yeah, the body fat, losing some weight and then building some muscles to it would be what the next steps are. Yeah.
Okay. I had a question though. I know you said it's like like it's pretty much healed, but I still do feel like there's like a little bit of like it's still kind of a little distended, and then
Yeah.
it's just like it's not, and I don't know if it's because it's bloating, or if it's I can always tell the difference when it's, you know, the fat and the skin versus like a little bit more of like the bloating or the DR. So I was just wondering like what causes that, or what do you think? You think it's the bloating? Do you
So
think
it's the weakness of the muscles.
okay?
Yeah, so like technical term with the diastasis, when it's like 1 to 2 fingers, it's pretty much closed. The textbook actually doesn't talk about the depth, but I like to know the depth because that's actually telling me the strength that you have. And then so with the top and bottom being closed and 2 fingers and 1 knuckle at the belly button, your strength is really there. Like there is strength, so you don't have to be afraid of doing the challenging exercises, core exercises, but it's about strengthening it to a point that it actually help you to build muscles, just like really similar to, like, I talk about it like your bicep. Like sometimes you're just like feeling very flabby, like there's nothing there, even though maybe like you don't really have any weight to lose or anything like that, but it's like, oh, it doesn't feel like, it's just so flabby. But like once you actually lift some weight with do some bicep curls, and then you'll feel, oh wow, there's a little mountain here, you know. And then so like that's where you feel like, okay, it's actually more firm, more toned. And that's what happened with the core, but also of course the core kind of got stretched out like 2 times, right, throughout pregnancies, a couple of multiple pregnancies, and like stretch with the skin and stuff. But like the core itself, the muscle itself is still sort of like weak, but not separated, and not like that it can't handle too many things. And that's why you still wanted to progressively challenge it. But because if I tell you to lift like 30 pounds, it's going to be so hard for you, for your arm too, even though your arm doesn't have any problem, but it's not going to be possible. Same as the core. If I tell you to do a double leg lift, straight leg lift, it will be very difficult for you. So like that's why you will want to challenge yourself to do more, and like maybe modify it first, maybe just 1 leg, or like maybe extend it not fully, and then you will strengthen all sides of the core in order to flatten the tummy. But nutrition, yes, of course, and abdominal fat, yes. So those are all like part of it, like bloating.
Okay.
So happy for you. You have lots of good progress made here, and it's only the beginning.
Yeah,
4 months is a really short time.
Yeah, thank you so much for everything, for your support. I'm so happy that I came across your program and got to like work alongside you. And like it's also another thing that I really like is that it's so personable. Like I'm getting to talk to you right now. You know, you're not just like, and you would respond to the chat, you respond to the groups. It's not like you were just a program that was pre-recorded. And it's like, okay, just figure it out, you know. And I think that was also what made me feel better about doing doing the virtual online course, is because you still have that, you made yourself available to, you know, have that interaction with us. So
yeah,
thank you.
oh, you're welcome. I'm really glad. Thank you so much for investing your time, your money, your efforts into this. It's all yours.
Yeah, thank you. And I remember when our very first initial meeting, you were like asking me like what I'm going to do at the end of the program, and like what I wanted to, how I wanted to look and everything. And I remember telling you like, oh, I have these weddings and these like bachelorette parties, and like looking back now. So, and like being able to, so for example, I just had a wedding 2 weeks ago, and I had a dress. It was the pink dress, and I didn't think I could fit back into a small, like, oh, you know, I was actually going to wear a medium, and then I tried on the small because, and my friends were like, the small looks way better on you. Like, just wear the small. And I was like, are you sure?
I couldn't believe it.
And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, it does look better. Like, cause you know, it's a form fitting dress and it's supposed to fit you that way. And I was just, I think I was just kind of like nervous. Like, I don't know, I'll just go with the medium. So I think that was like really like, wow. Like, and I got compliments on it. And also the second wedding, or the third wedding, is coming up next week. And I'm a bridesmaid again. And I went to get my dress altered. I didn't try it on. I had this dress since maybe like January, but I did not try it on until yesterday because I was just like nervous. And I tried it on and it fit almost perfectly. Like I was so happy. And it like, yeah, I'll show you a picture. Like when I put it on, like I have to get it altered because of the length, and I also have to get the straps taken in. But I was just like, wow, like I can't believe like I still have a ways to go. I know, but I was just like, I can't believe like I fit in this dress the way that I do, and it looks the way that I would want it to look. Because I remember buying it and I was like, oh, I have an idea of what it's gonna look like, but I don't know if it's really gonna be like that. But when I tried it on yesterday, it was exactly what I wanted it to look like. So I'm really happy about that.
So happy. I love that smile you have on your
Yeah.
face right now. You're beaming.
Yeah, thank
Wow.
you.
And have fun at all the weddings or like the summer vacations coming up, and like, have fun with your friends. And I'm so happy for you. Like, perfect.
Oh, thank you.
And that's it for another episode of the Becky Choice podcast shows. And if you enjoyed the episode here today, please share it with your mom's friend, any new moms or a mom to be about to give birth. I think they will find it very valuable as well, just like you did. And check it out, more episodes on Podbean or on your Apple Podcast to find out some inspiration, some testimonial from the clients or the previous clients who have joined the program, and see what they say about it and how it has helped them. And also tips, of course, throughout the last 40 episodes already. Oh my gosh, yeah, and we are already in mid of May, early May. The first quarter is already gone, and I want you to think about where you're going to be another 4 months from now. And my program, the Signature Tummy Warrior program, is 4 months long. Where will you be 4 months from now? So really dive deep into the reason why you're doing stuff like that. Why are you not doing anything? Or why are you only wishing you want something? Why can't you do something about it, right? Is this not something in your priority? And which is okay for some people, right? Some people, they just can't prioritize their health and wellness, which is not something I recommend, but there are times that it's just really hard to prioritize. So, but what is your take? What is your why? And what do you want to prioritize? So that's something for you to think about it, and I will see you next time. Talk to you later. Thank you.